Welcome to Liverpool Connection Podcast. I'm here with Wilson, Chris Delcross, and we're here at Tomodachi having sushi, changing things up. We're out of the pub. What do we got? Let's start with this. Wilson, what are you starting with?
I got to get my greens in, so I'm starting with a little salad before the rest of my food comes.
Delcross.
Got the good Mexican roll here with a bit of salmon sashimi, a little bit of fatty tuna over there with a nice sauce.
We got some scallops going on over here. We got a little bit of escalar. Good times. So Liverpool.
Well,
what's going on? What do you want to get into?
I just want to say that we want to thank Tomodachi for hosting us tonight. It's owned by our good friend Steve, who's a Red.
He is a Red, big Red.
Big Red.
Yeah.
So thank you for letting us take over tonight. And obviously the food. We've been here many times before. The food is always excellent. So whenever you're in Austin and you need your sushi fix, come here to Tomodachi. So.
You are right. And also, you might have noticed we have a new little intro scene with music. We're getting fancy. So we want to thank Scott Adair, a local Austin musician, fantastic musician, brilliant songwriter. He came up with the song. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. So with all the thank yous done, transfer window, as we know, is open. The biggest news, I guess, in the summer so far is all of the Saudi stuff that's happening. We've seen it a little bit the past couple of seasons. Of course, the Ronaldo move was a big one, but now it's gone into overdrive, and we just saw today that looks like Roberto Firmino is going there. Robbie Fowler is going as a manager. Kante's gone.
Mendy from Chelsea.
Mendy as well. There's obviously Benzema's gone there. What's your thoughts on this with Saudi? What's going on?
They're just throwing money at everything, aren't they? They've done the same in the golf. They kind of, they set the golf scene a little bit on fire. They're going to do the same with the soccer. I have no real problem with it, to be honest with you. I know people get bent out of shape about it. There's all sorts of talk about political stuff and sports washing and all this sort of stuff. Look, to me, the way I look at it is, especially for likes of Benzema and Firmino and these lads that are kind of Kante, that are in the twilight in their career, they're going over there, they're getting a boatload of money. Fair play to them and good luck.
You can't begrudge them, can you? I mean, the amount of money I think it was Koulibaly is another one, and Koulibaly came out and said, yeah, I'm going for the money. He didn't lie or beat around the bush or anything. He said, I'm going for the money. It sets up my family, my friends, my cousins. I'm set for life, so why not?
Yeah, let me ask you guys something. Obviously, there was in the news for about a week or two, there was Gerrard going to go coach in Saudi Arabia. So what did you guys make of that? Obviously, he decided at the end that he wasn't going to do that, but what were you making of that? Would that have changed anything in your mind about him as a future Liverpool manager?
I think if he had went, that was any aspiration he had of being future Liverpool manager was gone had he went. I think he ultimately came to the right decision for his career. That's what I said a bit earlier. I think for these lads that are in the twilight of their career, or even Robbie Fowler, the managerial stuff never really kind of kicked off for him. He done a little stint in Australia. I think he had a few clubs in England, but it never really took off for him. Look, he's going out there. I'm sure he's going to get an ass load of money. I think they're right, but the likes of Gerrard, if he's any aspirations, of managing top European sides, i.e. Liverpool, he was right.
It's an odd one with Gerrard, because you're right, because he could go there, accept the job, accept the big money, but what does success look like, right? What
you won't know because you're not going to watch the game.
Yeah, what's the games that you get? Like, he could go over there and win the Saudi Cup, win the league, etc.
Are you going to watch the game?
It doesn't mean much, does it? Really?
Seriously, are you going to watch the Saudi League games?
Watch it on? I don't even know what you would watch it on.
But if you could, would you watch? No one's watching the games. No one's going to watch the games.
I think you'd be surprised. I think it will start to. I think there's a little bit of interest that I have in watching it, but not. It's more of a kind of open the door, have a little look, and then probably close it and not watch it again, just to see how Firmino, etc. are getting on.
China tried the same thing, right? We didn't watch any of the Chinese leagues.
This feels bigger than China, though. This feels like the beginning of something. I mean, with the way, like you said about it earlier, like the way what's happening with the golf.
Yeah, they've totally disheveled the golf. They've turned the golf world upside down.
Yeah.
And like 6 months ago, no one would have thought that the PGA would have ever entertained kind of getting in bed with Liv, and now they're all in cahoots together. So I don't think they're going to make any secret about. They're probably going to look to do the same with football, and I think if FIFA and UEFA are doing their homework, they'll want to keep a close eye on that, and that something like the golf doesn't happen, and the whole what was it what did they try to what was the thing that they tried to what was the name of the
Super League?
The Super League. I think that would probably rear its ugly head again here in the not too distant future, I would imagine.
So that's the big step I see for Saudi, because at the moment, majority of the players that are going over there are players that are coming more to the latter end of their career, right? It's not players at their peak. It's almost like with the MLS, it's been as well. A lot of the MLS, there have been players that are coming to the end of their careers. They go to the MLS, they make a lot of money, they stay there for 1, 2, maybe 3 seasons at most, and they're set up for the rest of their life. What's going to happen? It feels like the next stage for Saudi, if this works out, is signing those players that are at their peak. But the only way really that's going to happen is if the players themselves are playing in the best tournaments like the Champions League, etc. Most likely it's probably going to be, like you said, that Super League. It's going to start, and if you get the Saudis involved in that as well, that would be what I could see in the next maybe 2 to 3 years. But it's
I think that's their long.
we have our
We do some sake bombs.
we have our host for sake. This is Steve, by the way. He's bringing us sake.
We bring the beer, we do the sake bomb.
Thank you. Beautiful. So yeah, it feels like a bit of a shift to the summer with what's Chelsea's like going. I mean, half their squad's going to Saudi, but so yeah. How's the sushi?
I haven't tried it yet.
Well, go for it.
Can I get the soy sauce, please?
You can get the soy sauce. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
But the one thing about the Saudi thing is, like, we've already seen what the buying power of Manchester City has been able to do to keep them out of trouble, right? And so it just is another avenue for clubs that have endless amount of money to circumvent rules. And I don't know, it's a slippery slope from here on out, in my opinion. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But I mean, we don't begrudge people for taking advantage and setting their families up for a lifetime of riches and legacies, right?
No,
but
it's all good. No, do whatever you need to do. No, it's cool. And we have more. What's this?
Is that ex-girlfriend?
Who's this one?
Ex-girlfriend.
Hey, I brought my ex-girlfriend.
That's your ex-girlfriend?
Yes, she's very tasty.
That's terrible.
Oh, is that terrible? Oh,
That's so bad. So bad. Wonderful. Cheers. Wonderful.
that's done. Okay.
So what's this? This is like a.
Okay.
Thank you.
What do we do, Steve?
Drop it.
Drop
Okay,
it
watch
in.
the camera. Okay,
All right,
ready? Okay, cheers.
For the Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. You all right? Yeah. So where were we?
Where were we before the sake bomb?
So
Hey, is that
it's good. Yeah, pay some.
I guess the question again, I brought this up a few podcasts ago, is Liverpool's involvement with this, because we're not owned by Saudi, which is a good thing from a human rights etc. issue, but there's a big problem happening. You have Newcastle Saudi, you have Man City, you have Chelsea, which is there is the problem of these clubs are starting to just spend so much money, break the rules, which doesn't seem to matter, at the moment, that we might slip away, right? There's only so much that Klopp can do with us not fully investing in the squad compared to those other sides, which is ridiculous. Even Arsenal, are not Saudi, but the amount they've invested is insane. I mean, they're signing Havertz, they're going to sign Rice, they're going to spend another 40 million on a defender. That's over 200 million this summer. So there is a legitimate concern that we could fall away. So honestly, what's your honest opinion about that? Because we do need a bit of an overhaul. Hasn't really happened yet. So I think concerns are valid for what we see as Liverpool going forward.
I don't think that anything that has happened at other clubs in this offseason has changed what we need as a team. So our objective is still the same, right?
Oh, 100%.
Revamp the midfield.
We know what we need. Yeah.
And so if we get the people that we need in the midfield, I don't think that what other teams do is putting them so far ahead of what Liverpool can achieve. Just because we do have a team that has been there. Obviously last year with all the injuries, but like I said, I think if we just get the two or three more targets that we want, Klopp will have us competing on all fronts next year.
Yeah, I think it's important not to forget too. We a few seasons back it was all about Klopp doesn't buy stars, he makes them. There is that kind of factor where he can get the absolute best out of a decent player, and I don't think, going back to kind of your question about falling behind, I think there's always going to be that part of football where you unearth this diamond, and I think it's going to you kind of have to go back, and that's one thing that I'm a little bit kind of, when's the last time we a real top class fella come through the academy, come through the whole way? Trent, apart from Trent
and Jones, but Jones, of course, we don't know yet, but
you know what I mean. Trent is a good bit ahead of Jones. Yeah. So you kind of there's always that element in football, which that we'll have to look at that, really, the scouting department, and finding these. Brighton are a prime example, finding all these players and selling them on for big money. Often you look at a side like Liverpool and you go, well, how come we couldn't find them first? So I think that we're never going to compete with the Middle East money. I think we're never going to compete with British money. Our owners have a business model, have a business plan. They're not going to go and spend hundreds of millions.
I mean, there's only so far Klopp's brilliance can go, right? I mean, we do have an aging squad. We do need a bit of a real, especially in the midfield. It's really obvious, we know that. But the concern is that you have where we were up against Man City the last few seasons. It was us and Man City. Now it's us against Man City, us against Newcastle, us against Chelsea, us against Arsenal. There's a lot more competition, not just for the top two positions, but the top four. It's going to be. It's still early in the window. Don't get me wrong.
We say that every season, that there's more than just 4 teams to play against, right? And I think this next season is going to be.
Yeah, I don't know though, because it's been. I mean, when you look at who's going to be top two, it's always been Liverpool, Man City for the past 4 years, up until last season.
Yeah, but there's always. It was
like
more
than likely.
It's always been Chelsea, it's always been Manchester United. Recently, in Spurs, so it's going to be the 6 teams still.
I think going into next season, and we're still, this is the end of June, it's going to be a lot more competitive for that top 4. It really is. I think there's.
Well, that's good.
It's going to be, which is it's a good challenge, but there's no doubt we need reinforcements, and we know that. We've been linked to a variety of different players. None of them have happened as yet. There's still plenty of time, but
Are you worried?
I am concerned. There's no doubt I'm
Are you
concerned.
worried?
Yeah.
I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm worried. What I will say is that I think, and all you stat people out there, put it in the comments if I'm totally fucking wrong here, but I think traditionally, or at least in the Klopp era, FSG sort of era, we haven't really, signings haven't really lingered. I can think of two, right? Van Dijk is the famous one where we courted him, window closed him, we didn't get him, we got him the following window. That was a big saga. And if I remember rightly, Salah as well, Salah's signing went on for a little bit. I remember kind of getting nervous about that one, where it was like on the cards, and it took a little while to get over the line. But apart from that, we traditionally, like McAllister, for example, he was obviously a top priority. Bang, we got him. Like even Gabbo in January, like I think, what was that, on the first or second day?
Yeah.
We tend to do things decisively and quickly. And now there's this little, I know it's only a couple of days, but there's still a bit of a kind of a pause, and you're like going, and I don't know whether it's a little bit of PTSD from last season and last summer's kind of disappointment.
Well, that's why a lot of these links to drag on.
Yeah.
It's almost like, we're probably not interested in that person, because if we were, we would have got it done.
Yeah.
And my favourite signing over the past 5 odd years was probably not for player, even though he was brilliant, and still is on his day, Fabinho, because it just came out of nowhere.
Agreed.
We were linked a little bit the day before, and then you woke up the next day, and then there's this bloke from Brazil with really bad teeth, with a Liverpool top on. Luckily, he's been to the Klopp dentist, had his teeth done since.
But that's my point.
Yeah, and then he just signed overnight.
Yeah,
I love those.
That's my point. We have been a lot more like that. So yeah, who knows? But I'm not nervous. I think when we go back pre-season, we were talking about it. 9-10 days time. I think you'd probably want one more signing before that begins, and I think we'll all be feeling a little bit more relaxed.
More importantly, have you tried the escalar on this piece of sushi here?
No, I haven't. This is good, man.
This is really good.
Yeah,
you should try it. You should try some of this. It's pretty spectacular. There you go. Give it a go. England under-21s is going on at the moment. England doing really well, qualified through. We have Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott there. Curtis Jones has been in all the games, played really well. Elliott just appeared in the last group game, scored an amazing goal actually.
Every time I watch Jones play on that team, he looks a notch above everyone else. He really does, and it just kind of shows you that. It exemplifies the fact that he's played over 100 Premier League games, and he goes back there to play in that tournament, and he just oozes class on them, and because I think that he's counted on.
Yeah, it's nearly unfair that he's playing.
Yeah.
So that was my question about those two, Elliott and Jones. What do you see? What do you think? Where do they fit in next season? Starting with Curtis Jones, who did so well towards the end of our season after being out so long. Really was a pivotal part of why we had such a great run and we were able to make the Europa League. What do you think about Curtis Jones?
Yeah, I'm at least on this show, I'm probably the harshest on him. I'll admit to that. But I thought he done really well at the end of last season. He really did. He played an important role on kind of making some sort of a run for that fourth spot. Didn't quite get there, but this is a big season for him. I think this is a big pre-season for him, and I think the beginning of next season is huge for him. If he can stay fit, and put his best foot forward. I'm really, really looking forward to
Thank
seeing
you very
what he
much.
can add.
Thank you.
Do you see Jones as...
Can I get some empty
Yes, you can. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you see Jones as maybe being a backup stroke competition for McAllister? Because that's the position. McAllister tends to be on the left of the midfield three. He can play others, but that tends to be his like dominant main position. Same with Jones. Do you see maybe Jones being,
I
being in
do,
there?
but I don't think he'll see himself as that.
Oh, I fucking hope not. Yeah, I hope he wants to.
I think that'll be important.
Yeah.
I think that'll be important for him, that he doesn't see himself as that he really pushes McAllister, that they push each other. But no, yeah, I'm looking forward to. He really ended the season well. He's playing really well for England under 21s.
Yep.
I think he'll get a nice little bit of a rest, come back, hit pre-season. Hopefully he'll hit the start of the season running, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can add to the team. To be honest with you.
Wilson.
Well, on this show, I'm probably the most pro Curtis Jones. Always have been.
That's why you're sitting together.
That's right.
That was the whole point of this episode, to build to this really dramatic moment.
The devil and angel, huh?
You're pretty pro about most Liverpool players, though.
Well,
you're very positive. It's very hard to say
Well,
to
I'm a
find you
Liverpool supporter,
criticize.
of course
I
I
know
am.
you are, but yeah, you are very pro.
But I've always been pro Jones because he's gotten a lot of stick, and sometimes rightfully so. But he has had injuries, like most everyone on our team has. But he has everything in his locker, and if Klopp can find a way to utilize his skill set like he did at the end of the season, we'll need all hands on deck this next season, right, in the midfield, because Klopp likes 9 midfielders. He really does. So he'll be an integral part of that. And if you're going to go in the season with Thiago and Hendo, who are going to inevitably get hurt or get tired, they can't be the guys to play every single game. He's going to be an important part. I mean, we do have, but is Jones a game changer? Right? He's not a game changer off the bench. We don't have game changers in the midfield.
Jones can be that from the start. He has that ability that he can change a game. But he's not someone you bring off the bench.
But the thing
I
is,
agree.
But the thing is, Klopp doesn't want game changers in the midfield anyway. He wants grinders. He wants people to cover spaces, to transition the ball from the front to the back. And then we also, as we saw at the end of the season, we're going to have an extra midfielder anyway, with Trent coming into the midfield.
Let me pick you up on that point, because I think that's a good. And we'll talk about Harvey Elliott in a second, but on that point, I think if we're doing the Trent thing where he's going to come in midfield, I think there is a little bit of a change where he is looking to have game changers from midfield. McAllister can do that as well. McAllister isn't he's a hard worker, but he's someone that he can score goals. He can score a lot of goals. He can make brilliant passes. He can open up space. So I think you are seeing a change, a different type of midfield. And we saw that towards the end of last season, and I think we'll see the same going into next. And the Trent moving in, I mean, that's a whole pod by itself to talk about that.
I don't necessarily agree with that part, because the fact that our front line is so good with Salah, Gapco, and either Diaz or Nunez.
Potentially it's good.
Not potentially, they've proven they score.
They've not potentially.
Okay.
Salah, yeah. Gakpo, yeah, okay, he was good. That's still, but that's still potentially. I wouldn't say we're like a Mane, Firmino, Salah levels yet.
No, we never.
Bloody hope we will be at some point.
That's one of the all-time top 3 forward lines. So you're not going to get that anytime soon. But
why not? We should always be striving to have the best up front as well. We should.
Class midfield is the type to score goals.
So
yeah, I think just before moving off of Curtis Jones too, I think maybe, and again maybe I'm being harsh on him here again, but maybe, just maybe, the penny dropped with him a little bit, and I think for him a lot of it wasn't down to ability, but it was more mentally being capable, and I think he probably was the type of fella that was just like the under-21s here. He's always kind of a step ahead when he's at that level. And it may be that he just kind of thought that, his skill and, his technical ability would carry him through. And in a club side, that's not all you need. We know that's not all you need in a club side. You need to be dogged. You need to run. You need to run hard. And I think maybe mentally the penny kind of dropped with him at the end of last season. And he figured out, just technical ability alone isn't going to get me by here. I need to really put in a shift for this fella in order for me to play. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring at the start.
I think you're right. I mean, there is a really good player in there, but there has been some issues that he's had.
A bit of cockiness.
I like the arrogance to a certain. I like that, but sometimes it's tended to go over too far with
we go from that one young lad to the other one, Bagzetic, right? For 10 games.
He loves Bajek.
I do love him because
don't forget Harvey Elliott. We've got to talk about Elliott as well. But let's go to Bajek. Let's talk about Bajek.
So before Jones had his run of games, Bagzetic had his run of games and proved that he could play at the top level. Yeah. So another problem. I wouldn't say problem, but it's nice to have that luxury. So you have another guy that could play. And he's proven that he could play at the top level more than one game at a time. And I think that's been one of the things in the past with Klopp. Like with Divock. A lot of people say Divock should have played more. Taki, Minamino should have played more. They couldn't. The side was too good. And you couldn't get the consistency out of these players. So how do you get consistent minutes? I mean, for those 10 games, Bagzetic was probably one of our better players. So now, and then when Jones played, he was probably one of our better players. So how do we integrate, and then McAllister's coming in, how do we integrate all these midfielders
I want to pick
and make it work?
Just one word that you said, right? You said Bajcetic proved that he can. I would switch that word for showed that he can perform. I don't think he's proven himself that he can. I mean, I see potential there, no doubt whatsoever. He looks like a quality player, but for someone so young to play in that position, I would hope that we utilize him the right way, where he's in and out of the team, and we're able to nurture his talent, because he played too many games and he got injured, unfortunately.
He's going to be class.
And we got to be so careful with those young players.
So good. When he played in the Europa League. That's exactly what he's going to. That's where he's going to learn his trade.
He almost made Fabinho look obsolete.
He was good. But Jake, don't get me wrong, he did really well. And he surprised everyone. I guarantee you, most Liverpool fans hadn't heard about him before the season started, and then this little young kid comes in and he's fantastic. But he certainly hasn't proven himself. He's shown that he could do a good job. Now, going forward into next season, another reason why I would love to see some competition for Fabinho, because I don't want to. It shouldn't be just Bajcetic and Fabinho. We need another top-class player in that position, because Bajcetic, I want him to get minutes, I want him to perform, etc. But we shouldn't be relying on him down to Fabinho gets his normal suspension or gets injured. I don't want Bajcetic to be the only option in there, because he is one for the future. And you've got to be really careful with that. Harvey Elliott. He played every single game up till the last couple of months, 2 to 3 months of the season. Did all right. He did pretty well. Then we barely saw him. How do you see Elliott going into next season?
Elliott's role will depend on Hendo. It's really it, because Hendo's that's the right-sided midfielder.
Oh my, that's.
Hey, Steve, very nice to meet you. How are you? Yeah, that's right. Hi. That's right.
And Julian and
nice to meet you, sir. Chris.
Chris.
Julian, nice to meet you. Thank you very much. This is great. Yeah.
JK.
Just kidding.
Okay, JK.
Oh Jesus, here we go.
I thought you were gonna do like Rowling or something.
Thank
you.
Rowling. Have a seat.
We'll have to Uber home. Julian, we'll have to Uber home.
Yeah, after this. Are we doing this again? Yeah. All right, because after the first one, I'm a professional now.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, look, he's super nice dude.
I can already tell,
We are in a transition and everything, but I told him, look, Liverpool is my thing, you know what I mean? So whether I convince him to be in Liverpool, that's a long story. But I think
Do I need to bring his scarf tomorrow to him?
Because he's been Korean.
We'll just bring him to the pub.
His son is, he's been Korean. His son
Spurs.
likes son. Like
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
of course. Why not?
Spurs.
Spurs, you know what I mean?
He
Like
just
a
got
son.
younger.
1 year younger, right?
Yeah, so look, it might be Spurs, you know, whatever. That is long, but he told me keep the Liverpool flag on.
All right, yeah.
Okay, so there we go. Yeah.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, JK. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, JK.
There'll be a fair bit of editing. This one won't be edited on the phone in the car.
Where were we? Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott.
Hey, like I said, it all depends on Hendo. How many minutes is Klopp going to give Hendo? Because he plays on that right side of midfielder, as just like Elliott would, and so it really depends. If Klopp, I believe Hendo has a role to play next season. He's our captain, but not full 90s twice a week. You have to manage the minutes.
Do that this year.
Well, and that's the position as well. You would bloody hope that we're going to bring another option in there because we're pretty light in that position. So I could see on the right, if we're going to do the three in midfield, I think we're pretty light on that side. Henderson cannot be expected to play, you know, he's going to be in and out. Everyone's talking about the Milner role. I'm not so sure. I think he'll play more than that,
He'll play
honestly.
way more than
Well, remember, you still have Thiago to play as well.
And you have Thiago as well, but I think that's a position where we are. We obviously have McAllister for the left of that midfield.
Yeah.
Every player it looks like that we're linked with is that Henderson, Elliott position. So I wouldn't be surprised if we signed someone for there. But yeah, it's a big season for Elliott because it's hard to know, at least from my point of view, what kind of player he is. I haven't figured him out yet. You know, is he someone that is part of the front three?
No, he's definitely
He's
not.
not a
He's
front
not
three.
now.
He's not a front
He's
three
not one of
player,
those.
man.
Is he, in midfield? Now, the difference is when Elliott, the facts are, when Elliott came out the side, Jones came in, we looked a lot better.
Yeah.
Take of that what you will, and I think Jones is a better
I think
midfielder. He's a couple of years older, of course,
coincidental.
plays on the other side, but I still haven't figured out what Elliott is, which is fine because he's 19, 20,
yeah.
so...
Yeah, he's a kid.
But yeah, interesting. He's a very interesting player for what's going to happen next season.
And like, here's how weird the kind of season we had last season was. Like Thiago, world class player. We were just kind of like breezing over him, kind of just. It's nearly bypassing him, and you're kind of going, no, we have a world-class midfielder there that, granted, has a hard time staying fit for extended periods of time. But when he's fit, he's absolutely
Well, you
dynamite.
answered your question. Thiago, no doubt,
But man,
it's quality,
when he's
but
fit though, he's got to play though, right?
That's the thing, right? So it goes back to
he
Klopp
does.
wants
But-
9
but
midfielders. You can't play.
But you have to have, if Thiago is fit at starts, you have to have the right midfield to support that as well.
But
right?
where does he play? Because he likes to kind of drift to the left too, where McAllister's going to play.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. But
And Jones plays, so I mean.
and a lot
where
of
does he
this
play?
is relying upon who your number 6 is, right?
Well, we only
I mean,
have
that
one.
is it. That goes back to my point: is we need competition for Fabinho, because for these players, Curtis Jones, Thiago, even Henderson, to get the space to be able to cause trouble against the other team, you need a really good defensive midfielder. Fabinho was
why can't we go back
appalling
to a
last
4-2-3-1?
season, apart from the last few games.
Why can't we do a
Fabinho.
4-2-3-1 then?
I know. Chris has a Zoom call with Klopp tomorrow. Can you ask him? See what he says.
So because because for me, Salah, Nunez, Gapco behind him, and Diaz. No, that's the best front four in the league.
Do that again. Hold in the league.
Oh,
I know we've had some sake bombs.
Sushi's good, huh?
I mean,
Sushi is good.
in the league. Who's
Salah.
that? Tell me that front four again.
Salah, Nunez, Gapco behind him, and Diaz.
I don't know how you can say that's the best front four in the league.
So wait, hold on. Maybe the sake is kicking in on me. So you're saying Nunez, Gapco,
Yeah, playing behind, and they did that.
and
Diaz on the left.
Diaz.
Are you doing like a formation thing with like little bits of sushi?
With the sushi. I just had to
So,
visualize
you know,
it.
hey, so again, so we got.
I don't
so
know how you
Nunez
could
up
say
here.
the best
Hey,
four
so
in the league.
Nunez, Gapco,
Yeah, that was a big
Salah,
Hold on.
and Diaz.
Let's move this out of the way so we can see your thing.
So it's just like this:
Oh boy.
Nunez, Gapco, Salah, and Diaz. There's no better front four than that in the league, dude. There is not.
Get this man another sake. Or
Who's better than that? Seriously, as a front four in the league.
Grealish, Haaland, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Foden. I mean, you could pick any of
Mahrez
those players
doesn't
and make it
even
a top
play half
four.
the games,
They're
dude.
better than them. Potentially.
Mahrez
this
is,
might-
Mahrez is better than Salah.
I'm talking as
No,
a
he's
whole.
not.
Of
No.
course, Salah is better. We know Mahrez is a great player. Don't get me wrong. But you can't say that is the best four in the league. Maybe it might be, but I certainly haven't seen that from last season as the best four in the
I
league.
mean, you didn't see a lot last season, but I,
I
think
do
that,
like, but I will.
that
You
formation.
can't say-
So what we're going back to,
You can't say that's the best four in the league.
Well, I'm gonna
Potentially
say-
it might be.
Yeah, potentially.
But okay, Nunez, you can't put Nunez in there as the best four in the league.
I know
As
you
part of
hate
that.
Nunez.
No, I'm not hating him. I'm saying
You hate him.
I'm saying
You've said
he
it on
hasn't-
the show. You don't think he's a
I'm
footballer.
saying he hasn't been very good.
You don't think he's a footballer.
Next
You said that.
next season he might be good, but there is
That's
a
what I'm talking
lot.
about, going into the
There is a
season.
lot that he needs to add
So
to
I'm
his
going
game
again
to
saying,
be
why
a
can't we
top
play a
class player.
4-2-3-1 like that?
Because that relies on Nunez to be the main point as a number 9. We tried that at the beginning of last season, and it didn't work. And our formation only started working when we went to essentially a 3 up front, with the Gakpo becoming a Firmino, with
Yeah.
Salah on the right.
I'm
And
looking to
Diaz
pivot off of this
on the left.
conversation- To pivot off of
That's
this.
when
All
he
right, so I'm
started
going to take
working for us.
Nunez off the top here.
So you're going to
Push
remove
it down
Nunez
here.
now?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, so I much rather.
So who you got as your front three?
Salah,
Let's turn this
Gakpo,
around.
Salah, Gappo, Diaz.
So that, to me,
Yeah.
is
That's
probably our best three on paper.
That's not going to happen.
Salah, Gakpo,
You're not gonna,
Diaz.
you're
That's
not,
what do you mean it's
no,
not going to
you're
happen?
Gonna sit fucking Nunez, dude. Fuck off.
He sat Nunez for like most of the end of last season, pretty
Well,
much
he will
every
not
game.
sit Nunez.
And so what's your front three right now? Because we're probably not
I
going
got
to
a front
sign
four.
any.
We're going
attacking
4-2-3-1,
play-
dude.
Who's your front three?
I already said Nunez.
Yeah.
Diaz here on the left. Salah there. Gapco right behind him. We're playing 4-2-3-1, dude.
And who's going to be in your midfield then? McAllister's probably going to be one.
McAllister and Fabinho.
And Fabinho. I don't think he's going to do that, but we'll see.
Trent as our traditional right back.
At every beginning of every game, Trent is always listed as the right back. And then he
is,
pushes
but
up.
he's not going to do that in that formation.
He'll push up and it'll be 3 in the midfield. It is. It'll be 3 in the midfield.
I think the Saki is talking.
I will keep drinking. Yeah. Why wouldn't it be like that? He's pushed up and anyway.
Because I think you're putting... That works if your number 9 is outstanding and brilliant. And maybe he will be with Nunez. Maybe. I don't see it yet. I don't.
You don't like him.
It's not that I don't like him, of course. I want him to do really well. Of course I do. I don't see... I think Nunez with the right team, with the right setup, will be a decent striker. I don't see him in a Klopp team working out, and the jury's out. But there's no doubt. Gakpo, however, fit right in. Took a couple of games, but then he was brilliant.
Oh, you know who
And
we
you can
haven't
see it.
even mentioned this whole time is Jota.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guys,
brilliant option.
We still have
yeah.
Jota.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no.
So, we have-
up top.
we have
I'd
a
start
top
Jota over Nunez every day of the week. I would.
I may do that as well, actually. I love Jota.
Wow, Nunes is like dropping big time for you.
He's coming back.
So now Jonas. So now
Nunez is playing the double pivot.
Yeah.
We're playing 5. We're playing 5 up front. We're playing a 4-1-4-1. So,
John, up front, up the top.
No, we have
end
no
of the
problems
field,
up there, right?
Absolutely none.
Right.
We just need to get a couple of lads in midfield,
So,
and we'll be flying.
so let me ask you guys something. Obviously, Van Dijk didn't have his best year, right? And in a couple of the games this summer, he didn't look very good. So, what's happening here? Right?
Holidays.
Huh?
I hope he's lying on a beach somewhere in Dubai.
No, he is on holidays
Yeah.
with Kevin De Bruyne and Ake.
Yeah.
But
I think he'll be fine.
the question is he past it?
No.
He's not past it.
No, not in my opinion.
Okay, all right. Because a lot of what we do depends on him anchoring that back.
I guess we'll see next season, won't
I
we?
think him and
But-
Ibu will be absolutely mustard next season.
Okay.
I think he was crying out for a rest.
He did need a rest,
yeah.
yeah.
Summer will do him.
He only
world of
just
good.
got one, didn't he? Because
Yeah.
he just played for Holland for a couple of
So
games.
he's off in Dubai now, sunning himself
With De Bruyne.
with De Bruyne
I think.
and probably Jack Grealish on a bender.
I think
And
I think it was Ake.
I can't wait. He'll be spot on next season. You can chalk that down.
I hope so, because he is key. Of course he is.
key.
I mean, he's massive for us.
Don't
You
become
know,
a bad
any
player.
great team, any good team has a really good centre back. Last season he was way below the quality we know him. So hopefully,
So were many,
With
many
all
of
the
them.
players were.
Fabinho is.
Fabinho was absolutely dire. Came back to himself a little bit closer to the end of the season. I still
did.
expect him to be an absolute top-class player for us next season. The two of them. I think Konate is going to be the same, and it's just going to be really interesting to see what we do with Trent.
More importantly, there's this amazing
Yeah, that Toro.
bit of Toro here. Who wants this?
Tuna.
I'm
Go
going to
for
dive
it.
in on this. No, you go for it. Have you tried this?
I'm drinking a load of it.
All right, then I'm going to do
I
it.
have.
Then. This is really good.
Yeah, real good. Sushi is really good.
So
Sake bombs are strong though, huh?
Oh, yeah, are you feeling the sake bomb? Huh? I know Wilson's feeling the sake bomb with the best 4 in the league.
A little bit flushy.
Yeah.
I have red tinted glasses. So sake bombs versus Irish car bombs.
Oh.
Are you allowed to say that?
No, you're gonna have to edit that out for our Irish friends.
You know what? There's a question about. Did you watch the pod? Maybe you didn't.
Oh, the black velvet.
Yeah, you did watch
You
it.
can't have that. You can't be drinking that stuff.
It was really
That's
good though.
That's a madman's drink in Ireland.
A madman. That's even better. Why is it a madman's drink?
Cider and
Guinness.
Might be crazy.
Okay, so can I
okay.
rephrase my
Thank
question?
you. Yeah, that
Sake
means I feel
bombs
good.
versus
Yeah.
car bombs? No, is that even a good question? That's not even a good question.
No.
It's a drink though, right?
Yeah, no, but but we don't want to go down that road.
All
We're
right,
not going to
yeah,
go down that.
I've never had a sake bomb.
I
I've
never
had-
had a sake bomb either. I didn't even know they
You've
existed.
never had a sake bomb.
No,
Why would you do that? Why would you ruin a good glass of sake?
Ruin.
I don't even like sake, but I like it.
You're
as a sake
combining two solid,
No, you're ruining the sake.
acceptable, brilliant drinks.
Okay, so question. How,
Did you enjoy them? I did. I like it.
bomb. I like it.
Well,
yeah,
there you
but
go.
strong.
End of story.
No, it was
Works.
good.
All right, cool. There you
so
go.
question.
Yeah.
Hot or cold sake? Your
Oh,
preference?
neither. I hate it.
If I had a preference, hot. I love hot sake.
Okay.
Love hot sake. Now, if you're going to give me like $10,000 bottle of cold sake, I might prefer that. But when we're going down into the more affordable ranges,
Into the basement where you usually hang out?
yeah. Then it's hot sake. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
can't have it.
No? Have you tried it?
Yeah.
You don't like it?
no,
Just
no,
did.
no,
You like
no,
Clash.
Kippers and cod.
Give us a call. That's always my next question. Have you tried it?
Yes, I have tried it. I do not
There
like
you
it.
go,
My
there
wife
you
is
go.
a big fan of hot sake.
Yeah? She was.
She is.
She still is.
Oh, she still is, but I do not like it. No, not having it.
I like them both.
Have you
It
had
doesn't
like the
matter to me.
hot wine?
Yeah,
Like at
same.
Christmas
Like
normally.
hot
Like the hot
port.
wine? No, hot port?
Oh, hot port, yeah.
Yeah, I do
hot
like a
port.
hot
Port
It's
is
good.
good.
I like a cold port.
I like hot port. There's nothing better. There is nothing better. When I went back home at Christmas this year, I went to Leopardstown to the races. There is nothing better than being stood at a National Hunt race meeting with a big glass or cup of hot port on a real frosty morning. Nothing better.
The question is, the big question, is it as good as Bovril?
Hey, so do you
You remember Bovril? You remember Bovril?
So do you get the
11 a.m. kickoff,
the 20-year
winter,
Tawny?
Bovril?
Port?
Yeah.
No, just cheap.
The cheap stuff. Okay.
With a slice of orange and some cloves and a little bit of sugar.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. Good for the soul.
Do you like a good 20-year Tawny port?
You like the port?
I do love port, man.
But yeah.
Good times. Well,
So who are we
I
going
think
to
we'll
sign?
wrap this up.
Who are we going to sign before
Well,
we go?
bloody hell. I mean, that
Before
could
our
be a whole
next-
nother hour.
No, but real quick before our next episode,
Okay.
who will we have signed?
I'm
Add
gonna
your
say-
opinions in the
I'm gonna
comments.
say
Let us
nobody.
know. Nobody.
Hey, when's the next podcast coming out? In a week?
Come on.
No, it's not about me. I don't run the club. I just don't
Really?
think we're going to sign anybody in
don't?
a week.
I hope so. I don't know.
these things
I've got
take-
a clue we're going to sign. I don't think anyone does. Hopefully it's one of those out of left field signings, a player we've never
What a-
heard about.
hey, what
and
about-
he's brilliant. But I don't know. Haven't got
I
a clue.
heard that Mbappe is in play.
Mbappe.
Yeah.
Then we'd have the best top six up front.
On that note,
Yeah.
it's time to go home.
It's time to wrap it up. All right.
No, but seriously,
Seriously.
why do people
We're
think
not
that we're going to sign
Mbappe.
Mbappe?
I don't
Seriously.
know.
Because a long, long time ago, Klopp said he liked Mbappe, and Mbappe's mum really likes Liverpool, and so that link has carried on. Plus,
you're saying there's a chance?
Mbappe is all
I
about
think there's a chance.
Mbappe is all about Nike, for the Americans, Nike, right? And that's why the link keeps appearing. But we're not going to pay 200 million for Mbappe, are we? Come on, it's not going to happen.
I mean,
Unless
he has no place
the
to play.
Saudis come in and say, we want to buy
Thiago.
Mo Salah from you.
Oh no, there's a twist.
And with that, like, subscribe. It's goodbye from me, goodbye from Wilson, goodbye from Delcross.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.
It's been fun. Sayonara.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys. Thanks very much again for.
Thank you.